If we get our honorees, honorees to come take their seats, we'll get ready. Good morning. I just want to go ahead and get started to be sensitive to your time. Thank you all for being here for the annual First Community Bank One Rock Legends Hall of Fame luncheon ceremony, where we take a look back in history. As you know, used to be a song, Back Down Memory Lane, that we go back down memory lane in nostalgic manner, to bring back the past, to give our young people out there in the back the future, and that's what I was waiting on. We had some bus challenges, and our 6th and gold champion, Forest Heights, they're on the way coming, and so I wanted to, I called Coach Sally. You know, he's the MVP coach, and I want him to walk in. We may give him a round of applause. If you knew what he went through at Forest Heights to go from 0 to 100 to become the champions, it was a really incredible season. But I thank you all for being here for this occasion. And I just really want you to know why this occasion, why you're doing, why you're eating this food, and why you're eating this salad. First of all, I want to thank First Community Bank, who is our title sponsor, which makes all this happen, which pays for all the kids to eat. Would not happen without them. And would you all give a round of applause to First Community Bank? Going to hear from Deb Selfsick here in just a second, and they've been the title sponsor for this. Coach Daniels had recruited First Community Bank to come out, and you know they've been upgraded from a 4-star to a 5-star recruit. And we're really excited about their partnership with the Athletic Foundation, Little Rock School District Athletic Foundation. Just a brief overview of the occasion. Sixth and Goal was created, Mr. Poor, who's on our board still, when he was superintendent and I was serving on the board of State Board of Education, and as a way to give back and to get involved with our young people in a manner that they were not being exposed. Probably nearly 15 to 16 years ago, the Little Rock School District, for reasons, decided not to have sixth grade athletics. And so we tried to be a bridge in that gap and step in, and that's what the Little Rock School District Athletic Foundation does, is support middle school athletics. We can't do as much as we would like to do, but you will see from about 175 young men to about 120 volleyball girls that you will see that in the back. We support the 8 middle schools in having extracurricular activities for our youth. And it's really, really a game changer because of the volunteers that we have. And before I go any further, there's one person who I was going to say, but I want to mention this to you because this story is so interesting. And I think it's important for me to tell this story right now before I move on. So during COVID, we didn't have football. But the next year it came because we couldn't get into the schools. But I don't know if you realize how challenging it is to get 200 physicals free. And the complexity that it is to pick up young people at school and take them to Children's, which were given physicals, but because of the new health codes, that was not possible. So understanding that was the only way that we were playing sports was because of Children's Hospital giving free physicals to all the kids that Coach Daniels and Coach Eric would coordinate with the schools. The buses would pick them up, take them to Children's. They would have their physicals and come back because our insurance broker will not allow them to play even though they have permission without insurance from to give them permission to play, and they've been approved by a physician. So that wasn't going to happen. And so I think it's important to understand. I called one of our board members, Dr. Rob Tillman. I call him Dr. Rob. He's Dr. Rob on my radio show. But I said, Rob, I need some help. I said, we're not going to be able to play 6th and goal football if I don't have a physician to give physicals to our young people. He said, well, Fitz, let me see if I can help you. So what he did, he contacted Dr. Robert Barrow. And for the last 2 years post-COVID, he goes to every school with me over 2 weeks, and he gives free physicals to every kid in the 8 middle schools, and he puts that on his calendar, and he meets me at the school, waits for the front, and goes into the school. He's even taught me how to do blood pressure. I'm serious. So he does that. He is the MVP of the 6th and goal and the 6th and volley program because he gives physicals to all, and I can ask Coach Sammy, so I'm gonna tell you how it works. There's other 8th, 7th, and 8th graders who we're only doing 6th graders who come up and say, Coach, so-and-so didn't get a physical. Can Dr. Burrow give him a physical? I said, bring him in. So he's done over the last few years about 400 to 500 free physicals, which allows for us to be here, for the kids to participate. Dr. Robert Burrow, will you please stand up? And the 6th and goal program, we have no paid staff. You know, I'm a volunteer executive director of the Little Rock School District Athletic Foundation, and everything I'm going to introduce to coaches. We're all volunteers, and so volunteers can lead to transformation in our communities, and we're honoring these people to continue to raise funds for all of our resources. That's why it's not real fancy. We don't do a whole lot. All of our resources go to our kids. And for that reason, I want to ask Deb to come up on behalf of First Community Bank and give some remarks. Deb?
Thank you, Coach Fitz. And on behalf of First Community Bank, we would like to welcome everyone here, the students especially, the teachers, the coaches, and all the dignitaries here. But Coach Fitz, we can't do it without you. So it's great to hear about the wonderful work being done to support student athletes in the Little Rock School District. It's important to invest in our youth and provide them with the support they need to succeed both academically and athletically. I wanted to share some of the values that we believe at First Community Bank. Although we only have 2 branches here in Little Rock, we are growing. We're out of Batesville, Arkansas. So we're a small community bank, and we would love to have your business. But as our family at First Community Bank, we believe in family. We are a family of genuine community bankers. We believe in dedication. Dedication to our company and our communities is what sets us apart. We believe in integrity. Integrity and values are our greatest strengths. Service. We empower our employees to go above and beyond to provide service that makes dreams come true. And opportunity. We believe everyone deserves the opportunity to build a fulfilling career. So on behalf of the bank, we want to congratulate the student athletes today being recognized, and thanks to the coaches, the mentors, and all the supporting staff for the tireless efforts in mentoring our students today. It is an honor to be here and represent First Community Bank. Table 12 are my cohorts, and so they would love to visit with each and every one of you before the lunch is over. So we are proud to support it and committed to helping students stay in school and reach their full potential. It truly takes a village to nurture the leaders of tomorrow, and with our businesses here and all the coaches, we know we can do this. So we at First Community Bank would like to help you build your village. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Deb. Now we'll have Little Rock School District updates by Pam Smith and Athletic Director John Daniels.
Good morning. There are 2 people in this room, so I'm going to try that again. Good morning. That's what I like. It's called Call and Response. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here to represent the Little Rock School District. I take great pride in being a part of the Little Rock School District family, and want to say a special thank you to Dr. Fitzhill for your commitment and partnership to ensuring that our students have the best foundation possible. To all of the honorees, we are proud to be on the dais with you, as well as the principals in the room, administrators, coaches, families, staff, and students. This is going to be a great celebration because it is about uplifting our community, and we are doing it collectively. I am proud to have the opportunity to share a little bit about the Little Rock School District and what we have been up to since you last heard from me in 2023, or 24, excuse me. I would like to also give a shout out to my former boss, Superintendent Mike Poore, because I had the pleasure of being a part of many of the ground discussions related to One Rock and how we came together to form One Rock. We come from many different entities within the Little Rock School District, but at the end of the day, it's about being one rock. And so I've had the pleasure of being a part of many of these celebrations from the ground up, and it's been a true honor. I'm also honored to join you today on behalf of the district as we celebrate the wonderful accomplishments of our outstanding honorees, while paying tribute to them, also paying homage to those who have gone before us, and highlighting what we look forward to in the future. We've had a year of growth at LRSD, innovation and excellence across all facets of our district. And I'm excited to share just a few of the accomplishments, the remarkable accomplishments that we have achieved together. In the area of academics, our students have excelled beyond expectations. We celebrated a record-breaking number of academic signing day honorees, 166 seniors who have received significant scholarships and academic awards. Now, what that means, those are national merit, commended, as well as 4.0 plus students, 166 across all of our high schools. But collectively, throughout our district, our 20, 24, 20, I'm gonna get my numbers together, 25 honorees, 24 honorees, excuse me. We have had the pleasure of collecting $26 million in scholarships. There we go. I'm looking ahead. So it's truly been exciting. Our students' decisions to be a part of the Little Rock School District and their dedication to their studies has placed many of them in prestigious colleges and universities across the nation, including Ivy League schools. We have championship debate, quiz bowl, and newspaper teams, which if you follow us on social media, you will find out more about them, as well as the Little Rock School District website. And this year, our district also introduced new STEM programs, providing students with cutting-edge opportunities to explore science, technology, engineering, and math. These initiatives are already showing promising results with increased student engagement and achievement in these critical areas. Now, for those of you who are in this room, what is also important are athletic programs. They've seen tremendous success with our teams and individual athletes setting new records and earning accolades in state and national titles. Our football, basketball, and track teams have all enjoyed victorious seasons, demonstrating not only exceptional skill, but also sportsmanship and teamwork. So what do we have to tell you about football? Back-to-back state championships in Parkview. What do we have to tell you about basketball? We set a record, made history with the Little Rock Central High School Tiger female and male teams scoring championships. Historic, first time appearing together for a championship title game. So super excited about that. And in the words of Michael Jordan, he says, "Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence win championships." And our athletes embody this spirit, bringing pride and honor to our district. And finally, our facilities have undergone significant improvements, ensuring that our students and staff have the best possible environments for learning and growing. We have completed major renovations in several schools, including state-of-the-art science labs, modernized classrooms, and enhanced athletic facilities. These upgrades reflect the district's commitment to providing a safe, innovative, and inspiring learning environment for every student. The support from our community has been instrumental in making these improvements possible, and for that we are deeply grateful. What am I referring to specifically? Joining our fleet of exceptional state-of-the-art schools, the Dr. Marion G. Lacey K-8 Academy, which will be led by Principal Don Porter, who is in this room today. He's super excited to have the opportunity, and if you've not been by that building, you definitely need to visit, because it is beyond anything you could have imagined for a school, for not just a K-8 school, but for a school in the Little Rock School District and the state of Arkansas, I might add. It is replacing the buildings that formerly housed McClellan High School. There is an amazing legacy room in the new building that pays homage to the contributions of alumni, while also ushering in a new era in schools and what they offer. And we also, just a couple of weeks ago, witnessed a topping out ceremony at Central High School for their new science wing. That's worth applauding. And the school will also soon celebrate a new field house that will allow both boys and girls to have 21st century athletic facilities. So as we reflect on these accomplishments, let us remember that they are the result of hard work, dedication, and a shared vision for excellence by our schools and the greater Little Rock community. And for that, we could not be prouder, and we could not thank you enough. Would you please give yourselves a round of applause for being advocates for the Little Rock School District?
Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. My name is John Daniels. I'm the athletic director for Little Rock School District. July 1, I'll start my 12th year, and I think this 38 years altogether. So, and in typical fashion, Fitz always puts me behind somebody that speaks really well. I'm from Dumas, so take that into consideration as I stand up here before you. Another thing, I didn't think I was in the batting lineup until I got a text from Fitz last night and it showed me in the lineup. So I get up this morning, of course I was in bed, get up this morning, I run into the office, try to type something up. So it seems like I'm reading, I am, because I typed it this morning, so forgive me. But let me first say this, congratulations to the new inductees. What a great group of people. Let's see, we have Mr. Henry, Mr. Allen, Mr. Walker, and Ms. Stevenson are going to be inducted today. And if you read through their bios, boy, these are some great athletes and great people. As I talk today, understand this. When I say team, I'm not talking about an individual group of people in a room or in a gym or on a field. When I say team, I have to talk about the foundation. I have to talk about the people that support us, like Children's Hospital. Where's Children's at today? They support us big time. Free physicals every year for all of our kids. Sports Stop's a great vendor of ours. And I can go on and on. The teammates that I have that are part of the foundation are absolutely unbelievable that I get to work with. So as I read through this is the kind of stuff that was on my mind today. And these are the things that we try, the values that we try to instill in our coaches, to instill in our kids. So just bear with me if you would. The Little Rock School District athletic programs are vital for student development, emphasizing core values, culture, and character. Coaches are expected to be mentors and leaders, embodying integrity, commitment, and intelligence. These values form the foundation of the program, guiding behavior and decision-making, and fostering a cohesive team environment. What did I say? A cohesive. That's from the superintendent, associate superintendent, building principals, my department. A cohesive environment. The only way you have success is when top to bottom, everybody is involved. If one piece of that puzzle is missing, you don't have success. A strong culture is crucial for success, created through consistent reinforcement of values, open communication, and shared vision. Coaches are instrumental in cultivating the culture by setting high standards and leading by example. Winning reflects the effort and dedication of coaches and players, indicating effective leadership and discipline, and a motivated team. However, it should not come at the expense of core values. Always keep that at the forefront. Great athletic programs often result from well-run schools. Let me say that again. Great athletic programs often result from well-run schools, where efficient management and strong leadership ensure both academic and athletic programs thrive. Adaptability to change is essential, as it can shape the success of athletic programs by turning challenges into opportunities. Each program's quality is tied to the head coach's character, which sets the tone for the team. Coaches with integrity and empathy can empathize or inspire athletes to achieve greatness, build trust, and foster a sense of belonging. Through prioritizing values, culture, and character, LRSD's athletic programs can continue to succeed. Thank you all for being here and taking the time to have lunch with us today. Have a good time.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Coach Daniels. It's always a pleasure to work with you. I know you're smelling the food in front of your face. I'm going to ask Bishop Fred Harris to come up and bless the food so we can proceed in moving forward in our program. Pastor Fred.
God, as we celebrate our honorees and we encourage these young people and inspire them, we pray that you would let not only the celebration of time be great, but we ask you to bless the food that we're about to receive. Let it be nourishment to our bodies for Christ's sake. Amen.
Let's eat. We'll be back to before our honorees to make sure we're trying to get everybody out of here by 1.
That's
Okay, we're going to, as we continue to move forward, we want to be sensitive to your time. As we move towards our induction, we have a little video that we're going to show, but before we proceed, I want to give a shout out to our table sponsors. This couldn't have happened without the event of those who are investing in our youth through the foundation, Athletic Foundation. First, I want to thank the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, NAB Host Construction, Smart Data, Baldwin and Shell, Gadberry Financial, Arkansas Children's Hospital, Polk Stanley Wilcox, Clark Contractors, Sports Stop. Where's Sports Stop? Where's my Sports Stop table? Now, I want y'all to stand. Y'all got to stand. All right? Both. I want everybody supposed to now. Now, I owe them a lot of money because when we had more kids play football last year, after 5 years, you know, you have to order new equipment, new helmets and everything. So I have credit there, and I continue to tell them every time I drop off the check, I'm the best late customer that they have. And I want to thank Sports Stop because you guys have made it possible that we have. So I'm raising, just so y'all know, I'm raising money to pay Jay today, okay? That's how we're doing, all right? So all the money, that's the only IOU I have out right now on the book is Sports Stop. Everybody else is paid in full. So every check, if you want to write it to him, you can go ahead and give it to him right now, and then he'll give me a receipt, and I'll send you your receipt for your taxes. So if you want to write it straight to Jay, that's the relationship we have. But no, I'm serious. Thank Sports Stop for allowing us to have equipment on credit and pay off as we can. Thank you. So let's give Sports Stop a round of applause. Our partners, Every Arkansan, who helps on Saturday mornings feed our kids for breakfast when we're doing Sixth and Goal. I'm going to tell you a story of what happened, and you know, a lot of things we take for granted, but a lot of things you learn. So it was early September, and Children's Hospital, we have our trainer there, and so we had kids just consistently having cramps, and so they had to stop. And so after about 5 or 6 cramps, you know, the trainer said, there's no such thing as a virus cramp. And so then she started talking to the children. They hadn't eaten breakfast. So what we have between our partnership with Every Arkansan and New Life Church, they allow for us to feed the kids breakfast. So we're able to do breakfast bars, juices, and all those type of things, but to make sure that as soon as they get there, any child that has not had breakfast or had juice or fruit or whatever, that they have that there. That's the intentional that we have to be. So we thank Every Arkansan for that. Verizon, can you hear me now? Shawnee Hightower, you know, over there, we know. And my Dillards, and also Arkansas Baptist College and Arkansas Baptist College Foundation are represented here. We're glad to see President Favors here with us today. So as I said before we go, I have a little video that we were filming during the year, and it was really kind of moving. And I want to ask all the volunteer coaches who are here today to stand. With all the volunteer coaches, Sixth and Goal, who I've seen some of you walk through, would you please stand? Coach Sally, I call him Coach, all right, Coach Dalton Harold. It's about 30 of them, but they're working and but the after school programming. So what we do for our Sixth and Goal, I'm kind of like the commissioner, and I asked him to do these 4 things. Practice with the young men after school twice a week, okay? Go to school and have lunch with them once a week, preferably on Friday, to get ready for Saturday, and be with them from Saturday morning from 8 to 12. What we find when that happens, the discipline referrals are almost zero because of the involvement that we have in the young people's lives. And to realize I get the chance to go by the schools and recruit the kids and involve them in playing, as we mentioned, the physicals, all these things, you know, work together. But I'm going to tell you why I do this. It's because of the impact that coaches had on my life. I lost my mother, lost my father when I was in school, my first year of college. And it was a guy named Coach Willie Tate, John Outline, Buddy Bob Benson, who changed my life. Buddy Bob Benson, after my father died, my mother had an aneurysm in church, came to my house to get me back on the football field. Not a math teacher, not a science teacher, not a history teacher, a football coach. A football coach came and recruited me back on during my depression. And I see my teammate back there, Steve Snyder, he went through the battle with me, and that's what teammates do. They walk with you through your trials and tribulations. But coaches changed my life, and that's why I understand, that's why we created Sixth and Goal. Steve and I created Life Champs when I stepped down from coaching and God called me into another profession. But in this video, I get kind of emotional, and I started not to show it. But what happened, I started talking about Coach Tate and Coach Outlaw, who came to our communities, which was racially divided, and went to the projects and recruited everybody back on the team. And we won a state championship, and it's probably the greatest accomplishment that I ever remember, was winning a state championship in 1979, and that's what we're trying to teach these young people. So I want you to see this video, and after the video, we will go into the One Rock Legends induction ceremony with Marcus Elliott, who is a One Rock Legend Hall of Fame, and as you know, as Mike Poore said, Pam Five-Star Smith will be coming back up here. But let's go to the video, and the next persons that you will hear from will be Marcus and Pam.
When I think about football, it really, the context of why I believe in it so much is because it really changed the trajectory of my life. Coach Willie Tate, when I think about, it was him that really kept me on the straight and narrow. Coach Outlaw came, and how he went to the projects and recruited everybody who had been kicked off the team at Philadelphia High in 1970. And how I saw him build a community through football. The racial divides that we had in Philadelphia were eliminated, and everybody came together on Friday night. I wanted to impact the community, and that's why I Sixth and Goal with Bert, because I wanted to be able to change the lives of the young people who didn't have fathers like when I lost my father, who didn't have mothers like when I didn't have my mother. I wanted to be what I had that kept me from being what I was about to become.
We used to have sixth grade competitive athletics. So for a time that was gone, and so Sixth and Goal was like a revival. It brought life back to competitive sports. Bringing that back to the campuses has brought new life to young people, to some pride in the campus. I love the way that coaching on the court and fields translates to the classroom. You gotta execute, you gotta practice in order to get better. So I see that they are anxious. I see that those behaviors are changing because of what you're telling them and instilling in them.
Sports opens so many doors for the young kids, and I took that same approach and just giving everybody an opportunity, and I just think that's the most important thing. In the sixth grade, whether it's football, basketball, volleyball, everybody come along. And like you said, once you can curb that behavior, and when you look at grades and behavior during the sports, they locked in because they got that commitment piece.
Accountability, love, respect, discipline, and that's the thing that you get on the football field. That's what I was taught.
I'm happy to see the change that we make in the lives of these young people, and thinking if we didn't have this today, what would 165, 175 kids do that participate in our league? What would they do
if they were not with us, and how would our city be impacted by us not being involved in their lives.
Wow, what a powerful and poignant message. And that is the reason we are all gathered here today. I'm honored to share the podium with the incomparable Mr. Marcus Elliott, a football player extraordinaire, but more importantly, human extraordinaire. Well, so thank you for the opportunity to celebrate these wonderful honorees today.
Thank you, Pam. What an honor to be here as a former inductee. I got to tell you a quick story. It's an honor to be sharing the stage with Pam, who's personally a hero of mine. A lot of you may not remember, or hopefully you don't remember, that several years ago I had an opportunity to be a television sports anchor with a new startup station here in Little Rock. And so I reached out to my friend Pam. Pam, I've never done this. Can you kind of help me and give me some pointers? And so she was so kind. And I remember some of our practice sessions. She'd actually come to the studio, and I'd be behind the mic, and I didn't know about this teleprompter thing. So I didn't read very fast all the time. And some of these names, I believe there was a baseball player named Omar Garcia-Parra or something during that time. But she would always tell me and coach me and say, just relax and roll along with it. I literally was maybe the worst television sports anchor in history. But she was so kind to work with. So it's great to be here again. It's an honor to be a part of today.
Thank you very much. And that's why we all have our day jobs.
Exactly.
Marcus. At any rate, we are here to celebrate these incredible inductees. And young people in the back of the room, I hope you understand the connection to what you are doing to who these fine people are on stage, or these individuals, because one day, hopefully, we will have the opportunity, well, I guess some of us won't, but somebody will have the opportunity to honor you as we continue to celebrate our One Rock legends. And what is so important about today is you are being inspired as young people, and our folks who are in the room who are young at heart, hopefully they are being inspired as well and perhaps living out some of their glory days, Marcus.
Pam, if I could, you are so correct, but if I would be remiss, if I just didn't take 1 second, I really need everybody to stand up and help me do something. There's one man that had this vision from the start, and he doesn't get enough credit. In my opinion, he won't talk about himself, but Fitz Hill tirelessly, year in and year out, works not just for this program, but to help our community. I've never seen anybody whose passion literally is to help others and always sacrifices for himself. So, man, we love you and we appreciate you. Help me honor Fitz Hill, the doctor of football.
Marcus, that's true. And whenever you hear him talking, it is always about the kids. So thank you all for being a part of this afternoon, because we know it's for a greater good, and we are here to celebrate. So let's get on with the honorees. Are y'all ready? Yes, absolutely. So I did a little bit of digging. I've known our first honoree for a few years, but there is nothing like hearing from the honoree from his or her own family. You know, that's where you get the real juice, right? And you can read about him formally in the program, where it talks about him being a trailblazer, and Dr. Hill referred to him as Fred the Truth Allen. But he cleared the pathway for others to follow, being the first black sophomore starter for the integrated Little Rock Central High School. Any Tigers in the house? I know the head Tiger is here.
Go Tigers.
But what was interesting, when I talked with your brother, he shared quite a bit about you, and he said that your first love was actually baseball. But they were a family of athletics. There were originally 10 of them. Sadly, one of their brothers passed in childhood, but the brothers were all very competitive. And I asked which one was the best, but he wouldn't give that detail up. But he did give you your respect. And so he said that there were 5 boys, 4 girls, originally from the family of 10. First form of employment was being a pharmaceutical sales rep. Bet you didn't know that. And then he was a photographer. But he was very committed to a life of service, and under the tutelage of his boss at the time, Senator David Pryor, he became an aide. And that's where he kind of got his feet wet, where he was interested in politics. But before getting to politics, he had an illustrious career at Little Rock Central High School, led the team to 3 championship titles, and was named the most valuable player in the conference and state tournaments. And he received scholarship offers from everywhere. But again, he ended up graduating, serving as an administrative aide to Senator David Pryor, and then he was ultimately elected to the legislature, where he is currently representing District 77, and he continues his life of public service. So one of the things that your brother mentioned that I thought was worth noting also is that you were a person who was a leader. He said at the time when it was not popular, something was going on at Central where the kids walked out. Mr. Allen decided that he wanted to be a leader in that movement and walked out as well, and it almost cost him his spot on the football team. But he believed in standing up for what he represented and believed in, and his parents advocated for him, and he ultimately ended up being reinstated to the team. So your brother says that you always wanted to make a difference no matter what you have done in your life. We commend you for that, and we also want to share that he says, hats off to you, because despite running into many obstacles, you never stop pushing. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, as an inductee into the Hall of Fame, the One Rock Legend Hall of Fame, Mr. Fred Allen.
Congratulations. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
First of all, I want to say that I was informed that I had 30 minutes to speak. Then Jimmy Walker said, if you stay up there longer than 5 minutes, I'm going to tackle you. So I do want to say I'm grateful to God for this honor. I'm grateful to One Rock for recognizing me. I'm grateful for all the other honorees that's on program today. And I want to congratulate you too. And I want to thank all of you all for being here tonight, being here today, and making this program a success. However, I do want to say, whenever someone recognizes you, that's a debt of gratitude. So I'm thankful for that. But as I stand here today, my mind goes back to when I was at Central High School. And I promise you I won't stay up here no longer than 2 or 3 minutes, okay? Well, it goes back to Central High School. And I can remember when I enrolled in Central High School, I came on the heels of integration. And I knew that someone before me had opened the door for me. And that person was Daisy Bates, Elsie Bates, and the Little Rock 9. And they made it possible for me to lace up my tennis shoes and run out on the floor and play basketball. They made it possible for me to sit in the classroom. So all my life, I wanted to make a difference and be the first in doing something that no one else has ever done. So I was one of the first starters on the team. As a 10th grader, I started all 3 years. God blessed me with a lot of talent. He blessed me with good teammates. When I was in the 10th grade, we had Randy Elrod, Johnny Johnson, Bruce Mitchell, Ron Talley, and of course me. And we had a fantastic team. We had the smallest team in the state of Arkansas. We were smallest, but we had the smartest team in the state of Arkansas because we won a championship that year with less talent than anyone. In my senior year, we had so much talent on our team that the guys that were sitting on the bench could actually start on another team. So God blessed me with talent. He blessed me with my family. My family is here today. My sister Ruth, my sister Minnie, and my grandson Joshua, all the way from Las Vegas to be here today. And also I see one of my teammates from the General Assembly, Representative Shepherd, came to support me today, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful to all of you all here today. And more or less, I want to say I'm thankful to receive this award. And one of the things that I will tell you as I take my seat, do not let fears and worry become your friends. Whatever you set out to do in life, stay on the course, do what you think is right, and I tell you what, it also helps to have a good Christian life. My mother and father raised me in the church. I have not deviated from it. I'm a deacon in my church now, and I appreciate all the help and support that I have from my church. And Jimmy, appreciate you, because we grew up right next door to one another. Jimmy and I, it's funny how life takes a full circle. Jimmy was not much of a basketball player, and the happiest day of our life was when his mama and dad had bought him a football, so he would no longer have to tackle us on the court. Again, thank you for this award. I appreciate you. It is one that I treasure from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Congratulations. Fred, a quick story. Great person. Great when your leaders kind of live what they talk about. So Fred and I, we are related. We come from that Allen. Yep, we're cousins from that Allen family. But we're friends too. So we used to have, when I was around a little more, we used to have lunch every now and then or talk on the phone. I remember one thing he told me. He would tell me every time. He said, Marcus, I got a prayer. I try to pray every morning. He says, I pray to God to bring me somebody that I can help that they can't help me back. I'm like, wow. He wants to find somebody in his life that he can help, but they can't help him back every day. So I'm proud of him, and much deserved. He's not a bad basketball player either. Still got that jumper. So great. Our next honoree, well, first, would all of the board members to the Little Rock School District Athletic Foundation, would you please stand up? Great. Thank you. What a pleasure to be a part of a group that makes this happen every year. They saw a need led by Dr. Hill. They saw a need and said, we can accept that but no, they said, no, this is important. Let's go make it happen. So thank you for what you do every day to make this a success. Our next honoree from Little Rock Central, and no stranger to the state of Arkansas. I think it's safe to say that the Henry last name is associated with the first family of football in our state. I think that's a pretty safe statement. Our honoree was a great football player at obviously the best high school in our state, Little Rock Central. A center at 6'5", center, a great athlete at the time. Went on to play at the University of Arkansas for the Razorbacks. I'm sure like me, that was a dream. Played for some outstanding coaches there, Coach Hatfield. And lo and behold, he produces some pretty good offspring, too. But I got a chance to meet the starter of it all, the two parents, the Henrys. Would y'all stand up today? Mr. Henry was sharing how this was a great evening or great day for them. And I said, well, I bet you guys have had a lot of great days, which they have. But we're here to honor Mark and what he's accomplished. He played with Quinn Grovey and some of our other nominees, including James Rouse. He's a legend. He's a legend coming right out of Little Rock Central. And obviously we all know about his great son who continues to have a tremendous career in the NFL. His Hunter, who went on and played for a long time for the Razorbacks. But I think a lot of you know Mark from his amazing ministry. The amazing ministry that impacts not just our city, but our entire state. What's special about today is he is definitely a legend on the football field, and it's great to recognize him for that. He's a tremendous father and produce great fruit on the field, but he continues to produce great recruits for the kingdom of heaven through his ministry. So welcome, Mark Henry, as a One Rock legend.
Gosh, what an introduction. Got to bring you to church with me. Well, thank you for having me. Let me just say this. Thank you to Dr. Hill, to the foundation. What a huge honor. And I say it's a huge honor because I think about how many wonderful, talented athletes and coaches have come through the Little Rock School District. And just to be recognized as one of them really, truly is a huge honor. I do want to take a moment. I want to recognize a few people that are with me here today. I want to recognize my parents who were just introduced. Thanks for the difference you've made both in my life and with football. My wife, Jenny, who has put up with me now for, almost 34 years. Yeah. My mother-in-law, Michelle, my brother-in-law, Clay, three wonderful friends, Gary Cooper, Scott Miller, Andy Newberg, who all played football in the Little Rock School District and accomplished a lot in their own right, or at least in their own minds. So I'd be remiss if I didn't thank all the players and coaches that made a significant difference in my own life. There's a lot of people that I could talk about and mention. I do want to mention Scooter Register, who's here today, who coached me at Henderson Junior High. I want to give a shout out to my coaches at Little Rock Central. Bernie Cox, Norman Calloway are two that come to mind. And then Coach Ken Turner, who recruited me to the University of Arkansas, gave me a scholarship and the opportunity to play up there. And I'll tell you one thing that I'm incredibly grateful for just with football and really the opportunity to play in the Little Rock School District is football was really the path that led me to meeting the most important person in my life. Maybe you've heard of him before, but his name is Jesus Christ. And when I was at the University of Arkansas, God ambushed me with his love and overwhelmed me and changed the eternal trajectory of my life forever and set me on a new path. And ultimately, that path changed my life forever. And when I trace that back, that path ultimately leads back to that one day in 7th grade when I stepped on the field to play football at Henderson Junior High. And so for that, I'm incredibly grateful, honored to be here, thankful for this award and this recognition. Thank you.
Well, I think all you can say after that is amen. Congratulations, an incredible story. And you hear all of these full circle moments. Is so impressive to hear how our former athletes, or is it once an athlete, always an athlete? But how they are paying tribute to the coaches who are still in the room. So it just shows you the importance of investing in young people, because they show up in places, on stages, in places and spaces that we couldn't even imagine possible for them, just because we have invested in their foundation. So thank you, coaches who are in the room and other administrators, because we have success stories like you just heard from Mark Henry. So this is really special to me that I get to introduce the lady on the stage. That's right. Y'all give it up for the lady on the stage. She is now one of 31 honorees in this elite class of legends So we're so proud of that and proud of you. And of course, I had to do my homework on you as well. Had the pleasure, of course, of reading her bio, which is truly impressive, referred to as a pure scorer, as you will read. Naisha Stevenson is a decorated 3-sport athlete. So to find out a little bit more about those 3 sports, I did a little bit of digging and visited with Coach Threet. And Coach Threet speaks so highly of you and your accomplishments. He said this young lady could have done any sport she wanted to do. As a matter of fact, she was on the championship track team. She won 5 of the awards for that year, which helped lead to the team being named the championship track team. So that's an accomplishment in and of itself. But she was good at sprinting. She won state titles in the long jump, high jump, triple jump, all during her junior season, and received scholarship opportunities to play volleyball in college. But guess what her first love was? Basketball. And I'm told by the coach that Miss Naisha could dunk a tennis ball. So I'd love to see some tape of that one day. And that's also something that Coach Threet mentioned to me. He said that if social media had been at the height that it is today when she was playing, she would no doubt have reels all over the place and have gone viral many times over. So we are so honored that we get to recognize her for her accomplishments. She collected a plethora of honors, according to her bio, for her on-the-court performance, while also being named the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette's Female Athlete of the Year back-to-back, 2005 and 2006. And then after being named MVP in the state's All-Star basketball game, she enrolled at the University of Oklahoma, where she continued to light up the court, helping play a significant role in the Sooners' ability to dance into the Final Four. Coach Threet says that she played with heart, and that is what he wants everybody in this room to know. He also said that she could have done anything she wanted to do, but again, she selected basketball, and she excelled at that. And his question was, Dr. Hill, or maybe it's addressed to the selection committee, what took so long to get her recognized? That's his question from Coach Threet. But he said he would have been here today, but his daughter is graduating with her doctorate, but he wanted to extend his well wishes. So we join him in extending well wishes to Miss Naisha Stevenson, the latest inductee into the One Rock Legend Hall of Fame.
Wow. Of course, thank you. I am not as prepared as these gentlemen here, so I have my piece of paper. This is truly an honor. First, of course, I want to thank the committee for the Little Rock School District Hall of Fame and my dear friends and family. This is extraordinary. It's an extraordinary honor. I'm deeply humbled and grateful. Of course, this recognition is a testament not just to my efforts, but the collection and support of inspiration and hard work of many individuals who have been a part of my journey. First and foremost, I want to give an honor to God, who is most definitely the head of my life. To my parents, Yvonne Stevenson, and specifically my dad, Stacy Stevenson. He definitely has been asking me up to this day, do you have me in your speech? Do you have me in your speech? So I definitely wanted to let him know I have you there. Thank you so much. But again, to my parents who instilled in me the values and perseverance, integrity, and kindness, I owe you more than words can express. If anyone understood the measures and sacrifices you had to take for me to stand before you today, it's definitely me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I would also like to thank my family for your unwavering belief in me has definitely been my bedrock. They're all here at Table 5, so thank you so much for always being there throughout my career. Also, I want to take this time to thank my coach. I have 3 lovely coaches here that definitely changed and shaped my career. First, I want to give an honor to my trainer throughout high school, Sammy Clark. I know he's somewhere. There he is. That's my guy. That's my guy. Listen, if you ever want to know how to jab, you go to that man right there. I jab so much. I think I jabbed in my sleep. Also, my high school coach, as you know, I graduated from McClellan High School, which is no longer there, but it is merged. The history is still there. My high school coach, Coach Walker, she is in the building. I thank you so much for being here, even though, you know, this isn't your thing, this ain't your jam, but, you know, I really do appreciate you being here. That means a lot to me. Also, one last coach who has shaped my career at the University of Oklahoma, former head coach, Sherry Cole. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you taking out your time, you know, just to come down, so I really appreciate that. To my partner, thank you for listening and always being there. Definitely during a very, very rough part of my life. Just to touch on that, I received a new kidney a little bit over 2 years ago, February 25th to be exact. His name is Earl, so we're trucking and we're moving. So yeah, I definitely thank you for that support and for being there. Now, reflecting on my journey, I am reminded of the importance of community and education in shaping who we become. Growing up in Little Rock, I was fortunate to be a part of the school district that emphasized not only academic excellence, but also character development and community service. The lessons I learned here extended far beyond the classroom. They instilled in me a sense of responsibility to give back and to strive for positive change. One pivotal moment in my life was when my best of friends would come over to my house, probably around the age of 15 or so, and I would wake up and begin my daily routine. This consisted of running around my apartment complex, also running up and down hilly mountain on the side of the apartment complex, maybe 10 to 20 times. Needless to say, my friends never wanted to come back to my house. Thanks, Dad. I mean, of course, I mentioned you again, by the way. I just want you to know, you are throughout this whole thing since you wanted to be in my speech. But that experience taught me value. My dad didn't make me do those things. It was something that I wanted to do. And that's how I knew, that was my call, and this is what I, like I said, not forced to do, but what I wanted to do. And it has stayed with me throughout my career and personal life. It is moments like those that underscore the profound impact that the people around you can have on your paths and purpose. Oh, don't break that. As I stand here today, I am reminded that the honor is not just about past achievements, but also about future commitments. It is a call to continue serving our community and inspire the next generation. I pledge to use this recognition as a platform to further support the Little Rock School District, to advocate for quality education, and to mentor young individuals who will one day lead our communities and our world. The challenges we face today in education are significant, but so are the opportunities. We can ensure that every child in Little Rock has access to resources, support, and encouragement they need to succeed by fostering an environment of inclusion, innovation, and excellence. We can create a brighter future for all students. In closing, I want to express my deepest gratitude once again for this incredible honor. This is truly another highlight added to my life. Thank you for believing in me and for allowing me to be a part of this remarkable legacy. Coach, I remember one of our slogans back in college. She always said, leave your story better than you found it. I think I'm on the right path. Thank you.
That was great. Terrific.
Were you all not inspired? Well, let's give our honorees another round of applause, a generous round of applause. There is a saying that goes, when you are older, it won't matter how much money you had in the bank, what kind of car you drove, what kind of degrees you had, but that you made a difference in the lives of children or of a child. So as we take our seats, Marcus, and turn the program back over to, oh Lord, I'm sorry. We do have one more. Okay, I'm taking my seat.
All right. Thank you, Pam. Great point, though. Let me say, this one, we can't forget this one. This one's special to me. I often tell everybody, I wanted to be a Central High Tiger more than I wanted to play for the Razorbacks. I wanted to wear that black helmet. I was just that big a fan of Central. And our next honoree is one of the reasons that I was so nuts about the Tigers. Now, he doesn't know it, but I remember he played at Forest Heights. Is that right, Jim? So I watched him there, followed his career to Central, and correct me if I'm wrong, 55, is that your number? 55? Good memory. Man, I'm old, but I've still got a little memory. Played for Tigers. I remember watching him and along with all the great players, and they brought that program that really had been suffering, but when he got there, they got better. He was a great player at Little Rock Central, coming from a historically great family that made a difference in the community. But a lot of people don't know that while Jimmy Walker was an All-American defensive end at the University of Arkansas, set records when it comes to sacks, sacking the quarterback. He was unblockable at times. I think one of his coaches says, you know, we'd have to stop practice because our linemen couldn't block Jimmy. As great as he was, went on to play in professional football in Canada for many years. But as great as he was, a lot of people don't know he didn't get a scholarship initially from the University of Arkansas. Well, he got a scholarship, but he was one of maybe the last players to get one. In fact, he ended up, correct me if I'm wrong, he was so dominant in the All-Star game that the coaching staff gave him a scholarship after he had been overlooked, and immediately went to the University of Arkansas and made a difference. This man is a difference maker. I've had the pleasure to have him serve in my ministry for a time. He is an amazing person, loves God, loves his community, but one heck of a football player. Welcome, finally and fittingly, to the One Rock Hall of Fame, Mr. Jimmy Walker. Congratulations. Thank you, bro.
All right, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let me set that down there for me, Fred. It's a long time waiting. But you know what? It's funny that the young lady was about to leave me out because I'm used to that. I was the last to graduate from high school. I mean, you know, at Walker, you waited at Central. We had 1,500 students, so I waited a long time to get my diploma. Same thing with my scholarship to the Razorbacks. I was the last one to get the scholarship, the 33rd scholarship, back in 1975. For you, most of you all wasn't even born then, but that's when I got my scholarship, after being the All-Star MVP. But before I get ahead of myself, I want to recognize family members, but first I want to recognize God, because he was ahead of my life. And all this happened. All you young students, I want y'all to stand up. All you young students on these back rows. Because I want to tell you, I want to give you a message. God loves each and every one of you all, and he wants a relationship with you all. And let me tell you something, don't let man define who you are. Only God can define who you are. Y'all just remember that for me, and y'all have a seat now. Thank you. The thing about it, I want to get to my family next. My mom couldn't be here, but she's getting ready to be 89 years old. And I'm a mama's boy. I love my mom, and she is just incredible. And I want to first apologize to Fred. Fred grew up next to me, and so Fred was getting part of when my mom would come out after the lights go out, and we would still be out there on the street. It was kids. There wasn't no such thing as time out. My mother took time out after she whooped me, Fred, and everybody else that's out there. So, Fred, I want to apologize for some of the whoopings that my mom gave you, too. Just being associated. But, the thing of it is, guys, it's so important to know who you are, not let anybody define who you are. One thing about it, and I'm jumping around because I got family, I got my mom, not only, but my wife. Man, my wife is a difference maker. And God blessed me because she really don't realize it, but she's got a lot of characteristics of my mom because she's a giver. My mom is huge, huge, huge giver. And it taught me to know how to give back. And that's why I do Fellowship of Christian Athletes, because I want to give back to you young kids out there so you don't have to go through the same tribulations. I don't know what's going on with this mic. But Stephanie, will you stand? This is my wife. Y'all give her a hand. All right. I couldn't have done this without my siblings. My brother's here. Bill, will you stand? My brother, Bill Walker, used to be a state senator, state representative. One thing about it, my father gave us that vision to look in that mirror and to see who you are. What do you see? Because when I was in the mirror when I was 8 and 9 years old, I saw a little boy. But my dad told me I was a lion. So I started looking at myself as the king. It wasn't being boisterous or anything else, but same as my younger brother, he would walk around schools, everything, he had a briefcase. I never knew what was in the briefcase, but he always carried a briefcase with him to school. But today I want to thank my brother Bill because he's been instrumental in pushing me and helping me define who I was. He helped me in times when nobody else would help. I thank you, Bill, because you've been there. My granddaughters here, Kendall and Taylor, of many of grandkids, sister-in-law Amber, my other family, Diane and Ruby, and my brother from another mother, Tommy. Tommy, will you raise your hand there? Tommy Walker. And Lance over here in this tape. But the thing about it, guys, when you be positive, you stay around positive people. Another message I get so involved, God got me so involved with these young kids with Fellowship of Christian Athletes, I can't pass up an opportunity to wish, and I know you guys got to go, but hey, that's okay. But be involved, say your prayers every night, and thank God when he wakes you up every morning. But I'm telling you, none of this stuff would have happened. I've been blessed. God has truly had his hand on me. I've been blessed to be able to be the MVP of the high school all-star game, the defensive MVP of the Fiesta Bowl, the defensive MVP of the Orange Bowl. Things like that just don't happen. God has to have his hand on you. Y'all hear me? He has to have his, just like Mark got up here and said, God touched him, but God had his hand on me. I played in all 3 leagues. I was in the Canadian League, I was in the USFL, and I was in the NFL. People said I wasn't going to be able to do it. But I was able to persevere with the presence of the Lord and with his hands on me. And I wish I would have wrote a speech like this young lady did and follow her lead, because I know I'm leaving somebody that's out. But the thing of it is, Fitz, I appreciate you, man. I mean, this guy, y'all give it up one more time for Fitz, man, because he has been so instrumental in involving these young kids. And that's what blesses me. You know what blesses me and my wife? Is to see how these young kids are growing and hungry and thirsty for God. because it's so needed. It is so needed. And Fitz, thank you for just being involved with that. Michelle Beal, I want to recognize Michelle because her husband Chuck got me involved with FCA. And, I'm praying for Chuck going through it and this, that, and the other. But, I know I'm overlooking everybody, and I know time is short and of essence. But since I was last, Fitz, I said, I got to take more time. But I've got to share this story, one thing about this black helmet over here, Little Rock Central helmet. I wanted Tommy to set this up there. The Central helmet, the Little Rock High School District Central helmet, has been the only helmet in training camp at the University of Arkansas. Now, y'all hear this. That helmet, not that one, because mine was beat up and banged up, but my helmet was at the University of Arkansas training camp. And you know why? Because they couldn't find a helmet up there to fit my head. So they had to go get my high school helmet. But that helmet brought me notoriety. I always wanted to stand out, but I didn't really want to stand out like that. But when the helmet, I was blessed to have Frank Broyles his last 2 years, and Jimmy Johnson and Pete Carroll, all those great coaches that I experienced with. But that black helmet brought notoriety because Jimmy Johnson, one day he pointed out during training camp, he said, you see that guy right there with the black helmet? And Harold Horton said, yeah, what are you talking? He said, he's going to be a player. And he asked him, why do you say that? He said, you see all the black marks on these red helmets around here? He said, where do you think it came from? So I was a headbanger, okay? And so that helmet also got me in trouble because when we were running bleachers, they saw the black helmet not going all the way up to the top. so it was a curse, but it was a blessing as well. But that's why I told Tommy to put that helmet up here because they need to see that. It's still the only helmet that's ever been on the University of Arkansas field that I know of as of right now. But also, I want to share this last story before I close. When we were growing up, Fred, as kids, Fred was a dynamic basketball player. We had the basketball goal at my house, so I feel like I got Fred prepared because he went through all the physicalities of playing against basketball with me because I was a hard fouler and everything else. So couldn't play basketball, but I loved to try it anyway. But the thing of it is, parents, guys, you got to love your families. You young kids, honor your mother and your father. I don't care if your father's not involved because you've got a father. You got the Holy Father that's looking over you anyway. But I'm telling you guys, it's all about family. I wouldn't be here. This award means everything to me because this is where it started. Yeah, I've been in the Southwest Conference Hall of Fame, the Football Hall of Fame, all that, but it started right here at Little Rock Central. And so I just want to leave y'all with that thought that love your families, guys. I know this, love on everybody because God wants you to love on him. I just spoke to Denise for the young guys again, the young ladies and everything else. But it's kind of like, guys, if some of you guys have had little puppies and you get the little puppy up in your arms, and what does the puppy do? He licks all over you because he loves you. But that's God wants you to lick all over him and show him that love, that same love that we show the puppies. But God, I'm just telling y'all, thank you. This is an honor to be here. I love each and every one of you, and I say that spiritually and mentally, everything. You guys mean the world. You guys showing up for this. This is such an awesome job. And I know we passed time, but thank you all. Love you all that.
All right. Congratulations to all honorees. Let's give it up one more time before we get ready to get out. Fred, Mark, Naisha, and Jimmy. Hey, this event started this morning at 7:30. Is Terry Shots, please, is she around? Terry, please stand. She's the coordinator behind this place. I want to make sure. And her volunteers, Patsy, Dr. Nelson, Vakita, thank y'all for being here this morning to help get this set up. Well, it's game time. All right? See, we huddle up. That's what we do. We huddle. All right? Then we get ready to call a play. The plays are made in the community outside. This is just a little training camp so we know what's going on and what to get ready to do. We win and save lives out the door. I'm going to tell you something in closing I think is important to understand. You have this little sheet, and God always provides for us to do what we need to do. But if you want to give to be able to help us continue this league, I want to tell you this. We are our Every Arkansas program, and my young man over there, Antoine Turtle Jones, who's been helping me in the city, work with young juveniles who involved in the system. Was just in the juvenile system, did a football camp last Saturday in the camp that we have access to. And you realize it costs $323 a day to take care of a juvenile. $323 a day. It costs $350 a year to buy one uniform from Sports Stop. I want you to think about that price difference. $323 a day is what we take to incarcerate. $350 a year that we pay to educate on the football field. And that's all. So what I'm trying to teach young people out here, I want to give them an NIL. See, I'm trying to get an NIL for all of my youth, for them, because they have a name, as Jimmy was talking about, image and likeness, so we can keep them involved. Add to me last week as we closed, I walked through the juvenile detention facility, and a member of Sixth and Gold had just pled for 39 years in prison. We lost, and we're going to pay for it for 39 years. What I'm saying, we're paying for it one way or another. I'm saying we pay for it on the front end by replacing what the children don't have, and I don't blame the kids at 8, 9 years old. You know what the most interesting thing that I learned this when I was on state board and over the discipline committee, the number one triggering factor that's leading to this is elementary school suspension. When we send our kids out because they need us. And I think it's a shame that we oftentimes send our kids back to the traumatized environment that caused the behavior in the classroom. So that's what we have to be. We can't send them out. When I go to my PSA, my father had cancer, my brother had cancer. If I go to my urologist and I get a high PSA count, Dr. Jones don't send me home. She send me to car tie. I'm saying, where are we going to send our kids that need us? Don't send them away from us. Love them. Give them structure. Give them the things that they need, because we're paying for it one way or another. God bless you. See you back next year. Hope you have a great week.
So I got to be down there. So we got a position set to 7. What time is it? 7 to 8. I can get there at 8. Yeah. Well, pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much. You did too. All right. On my cake. Congratulations, boss.
Thank you. Appreciate you, my man.
Hey, Marcus, thanks for the intro. Hey, I know you had to prep for that.
Oh, yeah.
To you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you.